Right, garden update. It is Sunday, June the 13th. I think I had done videos throughout the month, and then I managed to delete them all because I haven't got enough storage on my iCloud or something. I don't know. Anyway, so this is what the garden looks like at the moment. So just beside the gate, we've got a few ferns. No, we haven't got ferns. We've got hostas, and I think those are toad lilies, but they're growing on really well at the moment. We had a really dry time, and then we suddenly had just torrential rain followed by some really warm weather, so everything has shot up. So these are some little pots with more ferns, hostas, toad lilies and things in them. So this area is just completely overgrown. I need to deal with it, but I've been weeding the farm at the moment. So hostas are coming on nicely. A few hollyhocks. I had put some foxglove seeds, sprinkled foxglove seeds down here. None of those seem to have come up or done anything. Bamboo's reinvigorated itself. Another fern. These sort of wood rose things are shooting up from the bottom again. So once they have finished flowering at the top, which I haven't had many flowers off the top, I might well cut them right back down to the bottom and let those shoot up, and then just cut them down every year and see what happens. The hollyhocks at the back door, that have just gone berserk. They've got quite large now. So they look absolutely fine at the moment. Give it a bit of wind and rain and they'll fall flat on their faces, but they do look nice. I've got some tomatoes in a tub. Down here, this was the messy area earlier. I have since managed to tidy it up. So I've got some landcress, carrots, spinach, fuchsias, some stocks. I think those are nicotianas or something like that you call it. In here we just have a whole load of pots full of nasturtiums, pansies, various sort of £1, I think they're saphinas or something they're called. I have bought in the back of here, in the back of these, there should be some dahlias. I think these, oh no, wrong pot. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. Yeah, I'm not overly impressed with those. I probably won't buy those again next year. For some stupid reason, I thought they're growing to big plants, but they're not. They're just small. A whole load of geraniums that are yet to come out. My wisteria has flowered and gone, but it was fantastic. It was absolutely laden, smelt wonderful, did really well this year. This is the nightmare border. I've got some dahlias that have come up, more dahlias coming up, more dahlias that I put in. I've put in some, I think these are stocks and more nicotiana plants in here, but they're doing well, they're growing, flowering. My hollyhock is well on its way to becoming the massive thing. Oriental peony is flowering in the back, and there's another little pot there just to fill in a space. Back here, I've got sorry, I'm not very good at this. I'm just trying to get it so that the sun isn't dazzling you. Just an umbrella, not an umbrella, a wheelbarrow, a wheelbarrow full of pansies, nasturtiums, little pots around it. I bought two types of nasturtiums. I think some are vaguely upright and some are trailing, and I've obviously put the wrong ones in the wrong places because they now just appear to want to go upright and shade the plants behind. There we go, that's first nasturtium flower. Woohoo! And then this is the border, and it has gone berserk, which is great, which is all the as I said, the rain and then this heat. So I've got a lot of poppies that have come up. I think the red and the yellow are geums. I've got aqualesias that are still in flower. I think there's some irises there. There were some lupins at the back that are now being overtaken by the achilles. So yeah, I will just take you through again. A couple of absolutely monster hollyhocks this year coming up. And then these are all the sunflowers, self-seeded sunflowers from last year that are growing well and doing well. This border, by the way, well, all of my flower beds need weeding. I've gone to town on my vegetable plot when I've had the time in between doing jobs for John on the farm. And this will be my next job to do, is to start weeding all this. This humongous plant, I don't know what it is. I know where I bought it from, which is like a very posh sort of garden that had a nursery attached to it. So it is a flower, it's not a weed, hopefully, because it's huge if it is. And I'm waiting for it to do something, and then somebody will be able to tell me what it is, because I can't remember what it is. I have got some bulbs coming up. Look at those weeds. Oh, aren't you jealous? So yeah, so take you around the back side of this. Hopefully you'll see a bit more. Some of these plants went in last year and they've suddenly, I mean, like quadrupled in size, so they are smothering some other plants. But that's fine, that's why I'm taking these videos, so next year I can see and rearrange. So there's the hollyhocks again. This little shrub here I thought was dead and I was about to pull it out and it suddenly revived itself. So this is the other side of the more monster hollyhocks. I've got a whole load of Aquilegias that have seeded down there. That's a white, I can't remember what that plant's called now, but it's pretty. It needs to get, actually this is why I'm taking these sorts of videos, so that I know that this winter I need to get that out of the back of the border and move it, because you just can't see it and it's so pretty. It's a shame not to. Oh look, I've got some borage coming up there. I don't know what those pink sunflowery sorcery things are, but they're pretty. More oriental poppies. I do love oriental poppies. My mother-in-law just has an absolute patch of them this year. They look absolutely fantastic. More of those. Completely overgrown field. And now we're down to the second border. So this is a lot drier at this end than at that end. I don't know why. I haven't watered anything yet, by the way. I have watered my vegetable plot. I don't tend to water the flower garden. I don't know. I sort of, vegetables, I think you're going to eat them. It's worthwhile watering them. Flowers, I think it's a little bit wasteful. Sometimes I will do at some point. But yeah, I tend to hold off for as long as I can watering the flower garden. Anyway, hollyhocks, Aquilegias that are going over, and I'll save the seed. This is my peony, the bulb, and can you see the ants moving around on it? So that's what I get every single year. But I have messaged Nanamuck's stuffing, and apparently a peony will grow in a pot. So this year, or after this summer, I'm going to dig this peony out and put it in a pot to try and save it from the ants. This huge, great big pink flower that is well, spreading. It needs staking a bit, but I never tend to get around to things like that. But the bees absolutely love it. Having said that, they've now all gone, but there were. Oh look, there's one. Yay! It is normally covered in bees. Got some fantastic lupins coming up there. More Aquilegias, more Achilleas at the back, and then this is a really dry end. But things are still going. I love. Sorry, I'm casting a shadow. I love the colour of those flowers. And that's looking very pretty. Oh, and that one's got quite a few bees on it as well, which is always good. This area, as I said, I can't remember what I have and haven't shown you. This area, I put the cardboard down, compost on top. Oh, and I put these flower bombs. Can you see these little brown things there? That is supposed to be a flower bomb. You're supposed to scatter them around, water them, and they then explode into a profusion of flowers. Mine haven't exploded. I have watered and watered and watered. I've got to the point where I've ended up crumbling some of them in my hand, and now I've just given up with them. I did put a whole load of seeds on here, old save seeds, some of which are coming up, some aren't. It's fine. The main thing is just killing the grass underneath it at the moment. Yeah, so that's that. Overgrown field, and now we're over to the vegetable plot. So let me just walk around here. So this is my mess that still needs sorting out. I've got a few tomatoes and peppers that need staking and things, so actually I'm going to put them in pots on the patio because I've run out of space in the vegetable plot, and then that will be tidied up. This is my herb bed. In the back here I've put some parsley. The sage is growing well. I think it's marjoram there. Coriander at the front, which is going really well. Oregano, Welsh onions, those grass looking things at the back are doing well. Thyme. This, which I think is either dill or fennel, I can never remember. And lemon balm. and I can't remember if you saw this in the last video or not. It's my next raised bed, which I have now planted up. So, mixed lettuce leaves. Don't actually like them. They've grown really well. Don't like the taste of them. I normally get the packets where you get the red and the green mixed lettuce leaves. This packet, I just don't like the flavours that are in there, which is a shame. I've got pak choy, which is growing really well. We've already had some of that. The spinach, yeah, I'm not impressed with the spinach. This row, the row that has nothing in it, is the packet I bought this year. That I have struggled. I mean, there's 3 plants there. I've struggled to get any to chit, whatever scenario and situation I put them in. They just haven't, to the extent that I am going to probably just send a quick email to the company saying I'm not complaining, but I think you should be aware that actually for some reason those are all duff seeds. They really haven't done anything. Whereas this second row here is a packet of spinach from last year, just a generic packet of spinach. Landcress, radish, which is doing really well. My agretti has done nothing. That's the blank area. My scorzonera has done nothing. The salsify is starting to come up. These little green, what looks like grass, salsify. So it'll be interesting to see what those taste like. And then I've got a whole load of carrots that have come through. I sowed 2, I think, yeah, 2 different types. And I've got a little row at the back there, Welsh onion, that are coming through nicely. Spin you round, sorry about this, into my strawberry patch. Look at all of those. For some reason they are very upright, these strawberry plants. Let's get in, see if we can actually see. Look at all the strawberries. Waiting for those to ripen. My 2 rhubarb plants, I haven't taken anything off these plants this year, excuse me. I put them in last year into a very dry spring, summer. So I thought I'd leave them for this year just to let them bulk up a bit. My blackcurrant bush at the back here, which has got, at the moment, some rather green currants on it, but they will soon turn black. I've got a goose, let me get back out of the way of the sun, sorry. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 gooseberry plants that are all doing absolutely fine. Yes, I've got some, can you see them? Gooseberries. Some of these are supposed to be red when they ripen. I can't remember which, and I did buy them, so they had a staggered time, so I need to go and get my piece of paper out to work out which is what. My raspberries have come on fantastically. I think last time I showed you they'd started to come up and they've just been caught by a bit of frost, and I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know whether that was just them done and dusted or what was going to happen, but they have just gone ballistic, so that's great. Really pleased with those. And I still need to stake them or put rows, at least try and make a slight row between them so I can actually get in to pick the raspberries. Blueberries are doing fine. The 3 at the front, oh no, the 2 at the front are the newer ones. They haven't done much, but these 3 at the back, which are the ones that last year I pruned and then they didn't do anything, I've got a lot of blueberries on here to ripen, so we'll be looking forward to those. Excuse the weeds. Look at my potatoes. So this set are my early potatoes, so hopefully they'll be flowering and eating at some point. They're a type called Anya, which is supposed to be like an early pink fir apple. So they've done fantastically. My pink fir apple have eventually decided to make an effort and to grow. They do nothing and then they suddenly shoot out of the ground. So I'm really pleased with those. They're looking really healthy, all of those at the moment. 2 courgette plants I put in yesterday. I had to buy these. The initial courgettes I put in, I don't know where they went. They disappeared. Something ate them. Not my children, that's for sure, but something ate them. I've still got a bit of weeding to do down this side. But these are all my little gem lettuces, or yes, little gem. And I had said I didn't know whether I was supposed to wait for them to sort of heart up and turn into a proper, what I would call little gem that you get from the supermarket. But I've given up with that. We've just started picking the outer leaves. They taste fab. Still got a bit of weeding just to do down this section here. So a few more spinach plants here at the back. Again, these are the ones that didn't come from the seed packet, or from this year's seed packet. And a nice big thistle in the middle. You will have to excuse the grass in here. I haven't weeded this section at all yet. So we've got parsley at the back, which is growing up really well. Flat leaf parsley, doing very nicely. And then this is celery, which is actually doing really, really well as well. So I'm really pleased with that. If I just turn around behind, this is the beetroot I grew from seed. I'll have to start thinning them out, but I might wait to let them get a little bit bigger and then I can actually eat some of them before I thin them out. These are the beetroot that were multi-sown, that have suddenly taken off and are looking quite good now. So yeah, so that's my beetroot. In here, all my brassicas. I've put in, I think we've got Brussels, cabbages and broccoli in here. All the labels have gone, so it's a case of guess what it is when it's grown and when you can eat it. They're looking quite well. I did buy some more red cabbages. I do like red cabbage. Did buy some more of those to put in. But yeah, they're all doing very well. I hope you can see this and the sun isn't blinding you, sorry. This is my main crop of main crop of potatoes. That is also looking very good. These are Caras, so I'm pleased with those. This spindly weedy looking stuff is my leeks. I had multi-sown some and they were doing fine, and then I just found an old packet, put them into a round pot. They grew up to about this height, and then I've just divvied it up. I just literally just pulled them apart and sort of put 4 or 5 per hole. So we shall see what happens. And I've got another courgette. That is one courgette plant I grew myself. So that's come on really well at the bottom. If we look here, these upright things, this is the salsify again. So I've got more salsify here. But no, now this side, this way you can see these two, this could be Scorzonera, because it should be on this row and this row, but there's nothing down this row of Scorzonera, so that could be Scorzonera, or it could be 2 salsify seeds that got blown by the wind over there. So we shall see when I pull it up. I have got about 5 parsnips that have chittered down here, but at least they've chittered, at least they're growing, so that's fine. And then this bare area, this did have the fleece on it, which had the turnips and swede underneath it, and I left the fleece on for a long time as protection from the animals. And then of course we had a couple of days of warmth, and I thought, oh, I better just see what's happening. And they got so warm underneath that they were starting to produce seed, and I thought, oh god. So I pulled the seed heads off, took the fleece off, thought, oh, I need to net those. And by the next time I got back down here, the pheasants had just shredded the lot, because I've got a pheasant family that live in the field and that seem to be able to, they can get into here and they quite happily strut about, helping themselves to whatever. So they had a very nice meal of my turnip and swede tops. So I've taken those out because they weren't going to do anything, and I have actually got some swede sow myself, so that will probably go into here. So just at the top of these little rows, I put some sweet potatoes in, so that's going to be exciting. I love sweet potatoes. I've got a couple of dishes that are just absolutely delicious with sweet potato in, so it'll be exciting to see if they do anything. The first of my many tomato plants. Down here, this is all sunflowers. This sort of, I've got 3 rows of sunflowers here. Morrison's at one point in the spring were giving away free sunflower seed packets at the checkouts. And the girl said, oh, help yourself. And I said, oh, I'll take a couple. She said, I'll take a few more than that, because not many people are taking them. So I did take a good handful. I've still got quite a few packets left, actually. And so they've been growing on in the greenhouse, and now they're out here. I think they're only going to get to about 1 metre high, but you know, hopefully if they flower, they'll be nice and sunny and look good. Got 4 tomato plants. My globe artichokes have suddenly grown a lot. I have put Jerusalem artichokes in here. It was an old packet that I'd found, oh god, a couple of years. I've had them hanging around. I don't know why I put them in the ground. I put them in the ground, nothing's happened, so I put the tomatoes in. So if they suddenly decide to shoot, then they'll just have to have an argument with tomatoes about who owns what bit of land. Runner beans, these are coming on. I did buy a second set of dwarf runner beans from Garden Centre, like a little tray of about 5 of them, just to fill up some patches. So hopefully they'll be producing something at some point. These are French dwarf beans. Again, I'd sown a couple of seeds directly into the ground because not many had chittered. they'd come up and done well. I have moved some of them which seem to be dying and having a fit about it, and I had also bought a little tray again of 5 that I filled up the gaps. This is cucumbers, outdoor cucumbers they're supposed to be, so we shall see. Up a little teepee, and you can see all the ones at the back are various types of squashes, pumpkins. Yeah, no courgettes there yet. In here we've got more tomatoes, lots and lots. So I'll go from this area so you can see lots and lots of tomatoes. These all went in yesterday. These are 2 types, tomato coralic it's called, and tomato cream sausage, which is like a yellow plum shaped one. These, I bought these specifically, they're determinate, so you don't have to pinch out the side shoots, you don't have to support them, and they are outdoor growing varieties, so it'll be interesting to see how I get on with these this year. My tomatoes normally grow fine, but I end up with a lot of green tomatoes at the end, whereas I think certainly the coralic, I think one of them definitely is a German breed of sausage, German breed of tomato that is supposed to be used to short, wet summers, so it should, hopefully ripen in time. Anyway, so lots more. There's a couple of courgettes in there, and lots more courgette, pumpkins and squashes, all which seem to be going on well. So do a quick divvy around. My fruit trees are in there somewhere. Excuse the washing line. In the messy section. And there we go.